Oh my God. Did you hear
Wow.
that?
I did hear that.
Recording in
That's
progress. I'm like,
intense.
oh,
Also, I love how on Mac, when you're like recording just like yourself, if you're testing visuals, like on
hmm
the photo booth, I think it's called photo booth.
yeah,
When you press play, it starts, it goes like boop, boop,
yeah,
boop. And I'm like, you have 15 minutes to evacuate this building.
yeah,
There
literally.
will be a boss fight on this elevator.
There will be. I thought you were going to say there will be a bomb. And I'm like, there will be
There
a bomb?
in three, two. I thought you gave me 15 minutes. I thought you gave me 15 minutes.
No, you
Hello.
loser.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Hello. Nice to
Mary,
see you
hi. Oh my
from
God. It's so
far
good to see you
away.
from far away,
So where
near,
are you at?
far. Jupiter.
Okay. So how's the
Yeah,
oxygen there?
there isn't any. I'm on my
Oh,
spaceship. That's why it literally looks like
Stanley
I'm in
Kubrick.
front of like, I mean, I was going to say a wall. It is a wall, but it's very plain and the seat matches the wall. So it does look like I'm just in the void.
It looks like you're in the doctor's waiting office. Like they're waiting to bring you in, and you're just like, I'm just gonna record my podcast now. I just need to fit it in.
Right? They're like, sir, you can't record in here. And I'm like, shh, quiet on set.
You have a lighting, you're like, someone walks in front of it, you're like, you piece of
I'm
shit.
like, you motherfucker. And they're like,
You're next. I mean, you're like, "Ooh,
is there a
thank
Chris
you."
here? And I'm like, oh, me.
You take everything in with you.
It's
You
on like
turn
a
the camera to
rolling
the
cart.
doctor. Yeah. The doctor, you're like, so what's wrong with Chris? And I'm like, so what's wrong with Chris?
And I like hold the microphone up to the doctor. I'm like, mm-hmm.
He says like something really embarrassing, and I'm just like,
And I'm like, sorry you had to hear that.
my apologies.
Oh my God. I wish you could see my setup though right now because I had to get creative. Like, because I'm in my like childhood bedroom, but my mom, because obviously I don't live here anymore, my mom like repainted it and redid everything. So there's this like armchair that's kitty cornered and it has
Mhm.
an ottoman, which is what my laptop is propped up on. But I had to put a basket on the ottoman and then put my laptop on the basket because otherwise it would have been like the angle would have been like up my nose.
That's funny. I have a very similar setup. So I'm in my game room. I
Right.
have a seat and I have a stack of books and my
Yeah.
laptop sitting on top of that because if it wasn't, it would be like this. Let me.
Same. Mine would be like
So yeah.
it
So
would
I
be
think we
like
should just
this
shoot
angle.
from this point this point of view the whole time.
What if I just stood the whole time? I'm just like, so anyway.
I really liked. I'm glad we thought out the ability to make it look okay for the audience.
Right. We had some foresight. Yeah, it's
I had
tough
some
because
foresight.
like I don't know if you can tell, but there's a window on either side of me, so the lighting is just I had to shut my shades and like turn my bedroom light on.
Hmm.
But
I
luckily
mean, it looks
everything is
good. You
white.
look good.
So oh my God, thank
Yeah,
you. You look good.
you look great. Do you have a
Sorry for all
fan
the
going on?
listeners who don't watch this.
Yeah. You have to the visual cues. Maybe we should like insert what we're doing, like in parentheses, like talk about it.
Just narrate
Chris's
our narrations.
yes, Chris's hair is in the wind. It appears.
Oh
Is there a
yeah, I
fan?
have a fan. It's hot on Jupiter, so and the door is shut because again, there's no air here, so I have to keep the oxygen in. So the door is shut, so it's just really
Okay.
hot on board this spaceship.
You'd think with all the technology being on Jupiter, they'd be able to, maybe get some AC
No,
in there, but
right? You would think
no.
they would could be able to convert all this gas into cold air. I don't know,
Science.
right? Who needs it
No. But it is cool that you're back in your childhood home, though.
on Jupiter?
And yes, on Jupiter, because you were born in Jupiter and you didn't get Jupiter.
And I didn't
So
somehow. I don't know.
you avoided it.
I did.
Um, so you found did you find any like childhood games or anything like that? I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Well.
I'm always interested.
Oh wait. Also, hold on just a second. We're jumping into this way too quick, but I did not say hi. Welcome to the After School Special Club podcast. I'm Chris,
I am Mary.
and we are recording remotely. You can probably tell that if you're watching, and if you're listening, you can probably also tell that because there is latency and audio delay. So,
It's like I have a conversation. I'm like, Chris, how are you in
It's
Jupiter.
cutting in and out, and then I'm talking over you.
Yes. Um, no, hello. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to us reconnecting because we've been away.
Yeah.
He's been in space. It's been a hard time for me.
Yeah,
Alone.
Mary was in
Toronto.
space. That was hard for me, and then I'm in space. You know, we have a codependent relationship.
And we broadcast it for everyone to see.
But no, I did find some games. So I was telling Mary offline that I like foolishly sold a lot of games when I was a teenager because I didn't foresee the value in them at the time. And I, even worse, sold them to GameStop. So
Yeah, they're like, here's, you bought this game for $60. Here, I can give you $1 back and
Right.
some lint.
And I'm like, and they're like, goodbye.
Get out of my store.
But I do still have some games. Unfortunately, all of my PS2 games are gone, which is weird because my PS2 is still here. I found it like buried. My mom like put it in the back of my closet. So I don't really know what happened there. I can't remember, but I do still have, luckily, I still have Valkyrie Profile 2, which is my favorite PS2 game, and one of my favorite RPGs. So luckily, I still have that loose in one of those little red sleeves from GameStop. These motherfuckers.
So you get a sleeve.
Right. They were like, I do remember he was like, I don't have a case. Do you want it just in the sleeve? And I was like, well, what else would you put it in?
They're like a doggy bag. With
Yeah,
sugar in it.
here you go. It's like a doggy poop bag. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks.
I love it.
I love game. I love it.
I love games. So I still have that. I actually have, I'm just trying to think because I brought them out of this room and now I'm like, well, I don't have them in front of me, but so I have that. I also have the steel case Final Fantasy 12, which
yes,
yeah.
I also had that. I went into GameStop to buy it day one.
And so I still have that. I think the game disc, I think is in the PS2 because I opened the case and it's just the bonus content disc.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, so I'm assuming it's in the PS2. I'll have to try and get it out. And then I also have Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, the original Japanese for PS2. And that's all I have for PS2 games still. And then all my other ones are like PS3. Like I have Skyrim and Oblivion and Journey, Tales of Xillia, Tales of Symphonia, Kingdom Hearts 1.2 or 1.5 and 2.5.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
You're like, I have Leisure Suit Larry for every single console. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh
You
yeah.
know they made a PS3 version.
God, that's basically me with Final Fantasy X and Kingdom Hearts. I have it for every console it's been released on.
I'm like, mine as well at this point. Just add to the collection.
Right. I still have Final Fantasy IX. That was the important one that I forgot to mention for PS1. All 4 discs and the sleeve intact. So I'm like, oh yeah.
That's the best Final Fantasy. Fight me. Fight me.
So I'm excited about that because I still have the PS2, so I can still play it. Because obviously I can't play it otherwise. So yeah, I was excited to find those because I still have my favorites. I think I sold all the games that I was like lukewarm on.
Yeah.
Because No,
I relate to that. I remember selling so many games now, but the thing is, the games that I sold or got rid of or just gave away or lent it to someone
and they
didn't give it back to me. Yes.
Fuckers.
Which, by the way, if you're still out there and you have my copy of Folklore, please give it back to me. That is mine. Anyway, those games are worth so much more now.
Yeah.
Like I recently was going through, because I went back home too to Jupiter. No, not Jupiter. I'm sorry. I'm not from Jupiter. I'm from Mars. So I went back home to Mars and I was digging through my boxes back home and I found Fatal Frame, the first one, PS2. And that game's worth a lot. Those games are worth a lot. I had all of them, but I either gave them away, sold them to G-Stop. Doesn't reach my G-spot.
No. Oh, God, no.
No. But they took that game for like $2-3 at the time. And then now they're worth like $100-$200 each. More. Yeah. But I got back one of them. So that's all
good.
that counts.
Stonks.
But no, that is cool. And I was looking into Valkyrie Profile too because I never played that. And when you said that you found that, I watched like a video or like the beginning gameplay of it
Hmm.
and the intro to it. And I was like, this looks beautiful. This game's
It's
gorgeous.
it's very because it's like kind of like a side scroller in the
Mhm.
field, but at least in the second game, because the first game it's all side scroll, even in battle. But in the second game, once you get into battle, it becomes a three-dimensional space.
Okay,
Um,
because I only watched you going through the town. So it was the
mhm.
two-dimensional side scroller. It reminded me of like Nier a little bit,
Yeah,
like when you're in the buildings. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Which I love, and I just like too, because like I feel like that was really common for like PS1 games, but maybe less so with like PS2 games, especially at the point because Valkyrie Profile 2 came out in 2006, I think. So at that point, I don't think they were really doing that anymore, but I think they were probably trying to stay true to the original feel of the first game, I would assume. Which I like because there's something cool about like those like updated graphics, for that time
Yeah.
being in a side scroller. But then I do like how in battle it would switch to a three-dimensional space. You have to move around, and like there were even like and it's not like super simple too. Like some of the battle spaces are like terrain. Like there's bridges and there's rivers and there's things that you have to move around. It's not just like a flat 3D space. So I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. It's like a unique style to it, which I really
Hmm.
appreciated. And I didn't see that before. So
Yeah.
I was like really pleasantly surprised. How did you feel like seeing those games again? Because I always like get a feeling when I
Hmm.
find like games that I used to have or when I go back home and I find those things. Like,
Yeah.
how did you feel like seeing those again?
I was like, especially with Valkyrie Profile, I was just so like, I got that like warm feeling in my chest
Mhm.
because it's like for that game specifically, it's PS2, so I have no way to play that game because it's not in the PlayStation Store. So there's no way for me to play that game except now I am reunited with my PS2, which I'm gonna have probably shipped back to California for me. Um, there's no way for me to play it because because PS3 and PS4 are not backwards compatible. So like
Yeah.
there was no way for me to play it at all, and I still can't play it because I was telling Mary, um, none of the TVs in my parents' house have the plugs for it. It's
Ah,
HDMI only
yes, the
now,
plugs.
right?
Well, the future, yeah, the future got rid of our childhood memories.
Right. So I have to remember. I can't remember right now if my TV that I have at home has the right outlets. If not, I'm gonna have to buy a converter because like I'm gonna bring my PS2 home, and I'm gonna
Mm.
fucking play Valkyrie Profile 2 because I haven't in so long. I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
I bet that'll feel great. And
Yeah.
like, it's the nostalgia too. Like,
Yeah.
how many hours you spent playing these games that you find again in the wild. Like, when I go game shopping, for example, it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I remember spending like 200, 300 hours in this game.
Right. And there's games that I feel like you forget to because like you just play games and certain ones stick with you, but then there's others that like I see them in the wild and I'm like, "Oh my God, I remember that."
Yeah. And it's also really interesting finding games that you're looking for or that like games that you missed out on as a kid. Like there are
Mhm.
games that like when I was a teenager or a kid, I really wanted at the time. Like
Mhm.
I would see it in commercials, I would see it in like PSN magazines, and I'd
Right.
be like, this game I really want. But either I wasn't mature enough to
Still
to buy
am
the
not
game
mature
myself.
enough.
Yeah, it's still correctly not mature enough. But anyway, so there are games that I like saw back then that I wanted to try. And then trying them as an adult, like
Mhm.
finding them out in the wild at game shops, and going like, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
check it out. And it's really cool. But I did find a really cool game at Amoeba in
Oh. Oh
San
yeah.
Francisco. That's a great place to go if you're looking for a good deal on a game. Because I don't feel like I'm not gonna say anything about Amoeba, but I feel like their pricing is forgiving because
Mhm.
I got Silent Hill Origins for the PS2.
Yeah.
That game is like 60, 80, $90,
Right.
now. Got it for 40.
Ayo.
And I'm really excited to play because I've never played Silent Hill Origins because
Yeah, me
that's
neither.
before the first one. It takes place before the first one.
Right. Yeah, I feel like their focus is obviously like movies and music. I feel like they don't necessarily like they don't have their finger on the pulse of again stonks. So
Yes, the stonks.
the game stonks.
Mhm.
We should, side note, open a store next to GameStop called Game Stonks
Yes, and it
with the
has
same
like,
logo and get sued, but have a good joke of it.
yeah, it'd be great. And they'd be like empty except for like just like 3 games on our counter that we
Right.
had.
I'm like,
Ah,
ah.
they try to sell me a game. I'm like, I will give you a cough.
And they're like, I'm not here to
Return
buy
this game.
games. I'm here to serve you. You're being subpoenaed
Yeah. I'm
by
like,
GameStop. And I'm like,
fuck,
shit.
fuck. I should have saw that coming. They're right there.
They're like right there.
No, but that's really cool. I'm glad that you're back and you're finding old gems that you used to have.
Yes. I do want to see if I can find Valkyrie Profile 1, the first one, now that I have my PS2, because that was a PS1 game, so I'd be able to play it on the PS2. It is expensive. I mean, it's like $100 now, because it is super, super rare, but I've only ever watched playthroughs of it on YouTube. I've never played it myself, and I really want to,
Mhm.
so
Yeah. Well, if I ever
yeah.
see it in the wild, game shopping, which I usually do, I'll let you know. I'll send you a picture. I'll be like, Chris, it's
Chris, look.
$200.
And I'm like,
I zoom in on the price.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
and
look
I'm
how
like,
spency it is. I'm like, should I get it? I would buy
God.
it for you. If I saw it, I
Yeah.
would buy it.
And I would Venmo you, or would I? I just disappear. You never hear from me again. But I
Yeah,
keep uploading
like
to the
person-
channel.
Like the person who has my folklore. Now, if you are out there, please send that to our channel.
Our PO box is
we have a
69
PO
Ash
box.
Street.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania. But no, that's great. Have you been playing anything while you're at home or no? Not really.
No, I don't have access to anything. And I only have my MacBook, so I don't have like Steam or anything downloaded.
What about news? What do you got coming to game news?
Well, probably the most exciting for me is I saw news that they are remaking GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City. So
yes, I saw that too.
I'm like so excited because I don't know about you. I wasn't like a huge GTA like fan, but it was one of those games because I feel like those 3 games came out at like a time like in an age where I was just like go over to your friend's house, like hang out, put GTA on. Like they obviously their older sibling had it because there's no way like 10-year-old me would have been able to buy it, but
the game song person would have been like, no,
Where's
you're not, your mama?
Yeah, you're not mature enough. So yeah, it's like their older sibling had it, and we would put it on because it was like spicy, so like, but it was just like
you
would
could pick up a hooker.
Yeah, you could pick up a hooker. You could steal cars. You could run people over. You could do cheats. The button cheats written down on some ripped up piece of paper somewhere.
I still have. So speaking of Grand Theft Auto, I was obsessed with Grand Theft Auto, specifically the Vice City one. Like that one was my favorite because the music was so good.
Oh yeah, music slaps.
Like so good. I would just like drive around like a motorcycle or like the car and just like listen to the music. But anyway, all the cheat codes I would write down on a scrap piece of paper.
Yep.
That I would find on GameFAQs, of course, GameFAQs.
Oh yeah, God bless GameFAQs.
I would keep it in the case, like where the manual goes. So like all of my old games, it's just like things fall out from the game. And I'm like,
you're like,
it's all cheat codes, just like down the line.
I love it.
Some games, like Grand Theft Auto specifically, I found it difficult to play without cheat codes.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, but it was so fun. Like you could literally I would just spend hours just doing like crazy cheat codes and.
Oh yeah, flying car
around.
always.
Yeah, and the missions were cool.
Sure.
I'm not gonna say the missions were cool, but like my main thrall with like Grand Theft Auto is just fucking around. Like spawning airplanes, like one after the next, and then not being able to fly them because. Whenever I would try to like fly the airplane in Grand Theft Auto, I'd be like, how do you do this?
And then it's like waster.
Try again. Waster. And then try again.
Oh my God. Always. Yeah, I was the same way. Like I wasn't playing for the actual game itself. It was just like the fun of like getting in there and like fucking around and like stealing cars and running people over and like having the police chase you and like driving your car through the water, trying to fly an airplane or a helicopter, but being really bad at it.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, is there a way you can be good at flying an airplane
I
in
don't
Grand Theft
think
Auto? That's
so.
my okay.
Because even like,
Right
here's
on.
the thing. Because I watch, like, you know that I love Funhouse, and I watch Funhouse, and they do a regular GTA series, and they've
Mhm.
been doing it for years. They still can't control some of the vehicles, and they're playing GTA 5. Like, they're playing the most modern
Oh,
and
okay,
recent.
gotcha,
They still can't
gotcha.
control
So
any
like
of the
maybe
things that
it's
aren't
something.
cars.
Maybe it's like Rockstar going like, let's make this
Yeah,
hilarious.
they're
They're
like,
like fucking trolled.
honestly,
Yeah,
I
because
wouldn't put it past them.
I would try to fly. So in Grand Theft Auto, I think it was maybe it was San Andreas. Yeah, I think it was San Andreas because San Andreas like really pushed the map further
Hmm.
than the other ones. So like the map was really big in that one.
Right.
And I would like, do the cheat code, get the plane, and I would try to go to like un like a place that you weren't supposed to go to yet. Essentially, it
Yeah.
was like closed off on the map. So
Right.
I'd go there, and when you land, it's like you automatically like 6 stars, and like the cops are after you, like the SWAT team, like all the
Right.
military are after you.
You're
They're
like,
like, you're
oh,
not supposed to be here yet. And I'm like, damn.
I'm like,
And then I would
fucking
try to,
arrest me.
yeah, I try to like put in the cheat code to like get your stars decreased.
Hmm.
But since the stars were so high and it automatically shot back up, I just kept inserting them like repeatedly to
Yeah.
walk around
And it wouldn't.
the map. Yeah, it was just like they would like the police would go like, and they would like stop when I did like because my stars would go 4 4 4 3 3 2 1 1 2 1.
6.
It was really funny. It was annoying because I was like, I just want to explore this area.
And
Leave
they're
me
like,
alone. It was really funny because like they would like start coming towards me and then back away. They're like, is she wanted? No, she's not. Yeah,
No,
she's
yes,
wanted.
she is.
She's
No.
very wanted.
No, she's not. Only a little bit. No.
Oh, that was great. That was probably one of my favorite things I did in GTA was like just fuck around with the
Oh, yeah.
police.
And I feel like I would laugh so hard at like the way the game would glitch with like the cheat codes or just like stealing car or like, running people over. Like, I thought that shit was so funny. So like
Oh,
maybe
so good.
I'm a psychopath. Could be.
I'm a psychopath.
But I in the same, and because it would make me laugh in the same way that like games like Crazy Taxi, I thought was so funny playing that game because you're just like whipping it in a taxi and like trying to get people from point A to point B, and it's just like so funny.
Yeah, and I remember I was playing Crazy Taxi actually recently on the arcade, like the arcade version, an arcade
Yeah.
I went to, and it was so funny because I picked up a priest and he had to go to church.
Yeah. And you're like,
And he's like drove up the hill, like drove through the church. I was like, here you go. He's like, thank you.
thank you.
It's just funny because like the priest was late to church.
Yeah.
So funny.
And you crash into the church.
He was at like a burger place. He was standing outside with his Bible and he was like, "Arr." He
He's
like
like,
pull
I'm gonna
up.
be late for church.
I have to give a sermon.
He walks in with like a coffee, and everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, fucking finally.
God, you would do that first. Go to Starbucks run. But I like it when he gets in the car because like when you stop in Crazy Taxi and you get to the priest and you stop, he goes like, "Oh, thank the Lord." I was like, man, it must be rough to get a taxi around here.
Yeah, seriously. And it sucks. Anybody who gets in my taxi, I know they're not expecting what they're about to get.
Yeah, just complete silence. Just like you run over someone. You're like,
I mean, we just don't talk about it.
yeah, they're like, we should stop. There's someone in the road. You just ran them over.
And I'm like, no,
False.
incorrect. Stop spreading false news.
Here's your stop. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day. Oh, thank the Lord. I love games like that. Or like from the second it came out, Goat Simulator.
Oh yeah, that
Like
was
just so like just absolute fuckery, and it's like that's the whole point. Is like there is no point. You just fuck around, and it's so funny.
yeah. I like people when I first got that game. Because I loved doing like messing around with like the physics and all that kind of stuff with games and Grand Theft Auto included.
Mhm.
So like, this game is like perfect for me. It's like I'm gonna go in and just fuck around as a goat.
Yeah.
And like some people were trying to assign it, I remember like reviews, they're trying to assign it like you don't really do anything. It's like that's the point.
I'm like, that's the point
You're
of
good.
it.
you run in a shop and you like destroy the shop and you like throw yourself around
Right.
and you get outside and I like how you can put your tongue out in that game and like
And it like sticks to things. You can like drag people. Yeah.
yeah,
So good.
that was my favorite. Yeah.
There was another one that it was similar, and I don't know if it was made by the same people, but and I don't remember what it was called. I my brain wants to say Mall Simulator, but I don't think that's what it was called. But it was basically like you're in a mall, but it's like Black Friday, and so it's like the same idea where it's like
Wow. That
you
sounds
just like
cool.
where you just like you're like fucking around, like there's people and you can just like fuck around with them and like throw stuff at them and like push them out of the way, and you have to like
So like
go
reality, Black Friday reality.
exactly.
Yeah.
But equally as funny, just I think because of how like obscene it is, like and how over the top it is, like that kind of stuff makes me laugh so hard.
Yeah. No, me too. I love seeing people just like chaos. I like seeing chaos.
Just sheer chaos.
It's so funny. That game, I want to know what that is because I would want to play that. Like, that
Yeah, I
sounds
should
good.
see if I can find it because I think I haven't played it, but it was somebody I was watching somebody play it and stream it. It might have been Funhouse, speaking of. So I'll see if I can find it because it is really funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's on the list. I put on my backlog of games I want to play.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we should just start like, I don't know, like doing playthroughs just to get through
Exactly. I was just going to say
backlog
that.
of games because we have so many games that we want to try out and
Right.
check out. Like the Guy game, like
Oh,
the classic.
you know, the
Guy
classic,
game.
the Guy game. What was
Yeah,
the other
which
one?
got
The
sued.
Playboy Mansion game.
Yes, Playboy Mansion. I want to. Let's get Randy.
Oh my God. Let's get Randy. Let's get him on the podcast.
Yeah, let's get on the. Come on, Randy.
Come on, Randy.
I don't know a Randy. We're gonna
I
have
do.
to find a Randy. Oh,
That lawyer. That was that lawyer's name
oh,
from
they
work.
give
Do
you
you
this
remember?
card.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'll tell this story real quick before, because I know you have something that you want to talk about, but I feel like I have to tell this story. It's so funny. So, we have this guy come in one day, and he really wanted, or not really wanted, but he really liked the scones that we used to make in house, and so he wanted to like special order them, and so I guess like one of my team members didn't know like if we could do that. So she was like, "Oh, like, you know, I can ask my manager." So she just comes into the office, like I'm doing something on the computer, and she comes in the office and just hands me a card, like it's a business card, and it says his name, attorney at law, and then it just says handwritten on it, scones. And I was like,
There's a puzzle.
I was like,
he
oh
suing
my God,
me?
am I being sued because
Yeah.
of our scones? I was like, is this like, am I being served? Like, is it because this is when all the like allergen awareness stuff started happening too?
So you're like, did these scones have like some kind of mold on them? And then he picked them up and they're like, got
Right.
someone sick. And then they hired this attorney to come in. And
Right.
also the way that he did it.
Right. Instead
really
of just
funny.
like talking to me.
Like maybe he thought he was like, I actually want to use my lawyer abilities to my privilege
Right.
here and create tension.
So that,
Unprovoked tension.
yeah, so I still have it on my bulletin board at work because I think it's so funny. It's just his business card and it just says scones. But I mean, the nice thing is that he's like the nicest person ever. And if I ever need an attorney, I can ask him to represent me in court, I guess.
Yeah, he's like, remember the scones? Just
Remember
call
those scones? And I'm like, I do remember the scones.
Thank you.
Also,
For
save
free.
me.
I will. Yeah.
Help.
You murdered someone? It's fine. We're
He's
gonna
like,
handle
give me
this.
more of those scones, and you're
Yeah.
off.
He works for scones. He doesn't work for money. He's like, give me some more of those scones.
He would get a dozen scones every week.
Wow, that seems like a good deal.
Right. Also, that's a lot of scones to eat in 7 days.
He's probably very big.
He wasn't, though. I mean, he has a wife, so I'm assuming they would eat them together.
She hates scones. She's like, God, I hate scones so
God,
much.
I fucking hate scones. And
bring
he's like,
them
honey, I
home
got more scones.
every week? I got my scone addiction.
I got more blueberry scones. And she's
It's like my
"No!"
strange. It's my strange addiction, but it's my scone addiction. He's like, I have to give my business card to people just so that they can give me more scones.
to threaten them into giving me
Yeah,
more scones.
He has flex. He's like, I'm gonna flex myself to get more scones. That's really funny.
So yeah, that's that. So I do know someone named Randy.
Randy the lawyer.
Um. So yeah. Sorry, I was not prepared to segue there. Mary, what did you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about, well, there's a game coming out and it was supposed to come out, I think this month originally, like August 26th, I believe. But it got pushed back to September, which is fine because like September is my birthday month. So I can spend more money on myself and not feel as guilty. I'm like, it's my birthday. My bank account is like negative.
It's like,
and like my credit companies are like, give us our money. And I'm like, but it's my birthday.
But it's my birthday. I don't have to pay you in my birthday month.
You know, that's the legal term. It's my birthday. I don't have to pay.
Birthday. Yeah. It's birthday, not birth pay.
My point stands. So anyway, there's this game, Kena, the Bridge of Spirits. I don't know if you watched a lot of stuff about it.
I have.
Yeah. So this game, like, I just have like a video, like just the like PS5, showcase of it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have any sound, but I just think the visuals. I just want to talk about the visuals. Like,
yes,
it's just so beautiful. So I'm going to pull that up right now.
Da, da, da.
Because this game, now it's released for like, or it's supposed to come out in like September.
Mm-hmm.
I think September, like mid-September, I think. But anyway, I just want to, that's going to be like a day one buy for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick.
Oh, oui.
And people that aren't watching, they're listening. I really don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it.
Go watch it on YouTube.
Go watch it on YouTube. That's my recommendation. But it's just something about the look of it. It's just so gorgeous.
Well, I do remember I don't remember if it was from the actual showcase they mentioned or if I was watching something else, but the people who made it used to be animators. So I think that's why it looks like an animated movie, which is freaking awesome.
It does. And it's only $40, which I guess because it's like kind of indie developer. Yeah, it's like indie game, essentially. Right. But it looks like AAA.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, that makes sense that they're like animators though, because this looks like a Pixar movie that I can play.
Absolutely. And it's just like, I'm really intrigued with like the magic and stuff like that. I'm just so curious what the nature of the gameplay is actually going to be.
Yeah.
Because is there actual gameplay footage or is this just a cinematic trailer?
So it's cinematic plus gameplay. So it shows like the kind of fighting style that you do, and also like walking around. There's also some platforming.
Oh.
It's like an action adventure game, essentially, which I think is really cool. But the whole style to it just seems so beautiful. And also the main character seems like a badass.
Oh, yeah.
She's fighting for like nature. Yeah, this is like the
oh, yeah.
But she just looks like a badass, but also it's like preserving nature. And like, I like that whole aesthetic if you're trying to like bring back that to the world, because there's like an evil presence that you're trying to fight against. And the lighting and just the mood of it and the colors, like it just looks like a game I would really enjoy.
So beautiful.
And I think I would have a fun time playing it.
I wonder how long it's going to be.
I think it's going to be like 20 to 40 hours. That's what they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like an average. I don't think it's going to be as open world as other games are. I think it's going to be kind of linear.
Right.
Like point A, point B, point C. But I'm fine with that because personally, I have too many open world games to play through right now.
Yep.
So this will be a good break from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think the fighting looks really cool too. And the animations. Yeah, like the platforming.
Oh, so cool. Yeah. And I feel like even if it is linear, like I do feel like there's going to be enough to keep you captivated. Like I think when we were at that awkward point in time where like games were linear or open world, but we still didn't have the capabilities to do like a ton of stuff. I feel like the garden pathy linear games were more like, but this, it looks like, yes, it's going to be linear, but it seems like it'll be more engaging in the actual like field aspect of it.
Yeah, like I was impressed because I wasn't when I first watched the videos for it, it was just like the teaser trailers or just like the cinematics for it, and they didn't really show a lot of like the gameplay or the
Hmm.
fighting, but the fighting looks really fun, or like the fighting scenes in
Yeah.
it, more involved than I thought they were going to be. So,
Yeah. And the fighting animations looked really cool too, with like with just like the lighting and the sparking and that kind of stuff.
yeah,
So I'm really
like
excited.
jumping up and use your arrow. It's kind of like a Breath of the Wild type of feel that I get from it.
Yeah.
But I think I like the storyline a lot. So I'm excited for that. And that comes out next month. So
And
that's
I, ma'am, can I speak? I have something to say.
yes, you may. Yes, you may speak.
I will be able to play it because I got a PS5.
Yay!
Finally!
Celebrate good
Good
times.
times,
Oh
come
yeah.
on, sweet Caroline.
La, boo, boo, boo. I can afford this now.
Oh my god, I completely forgot to mention it earlier, but yeah, I got a PS5 finally. I've been trying since November when it came out last year. So
You won the race. There are people that are literally out there right now that are they're just scouring the websites,
yep.
going like, "Where's my PS5?" And you got one.
And I got one, and those
You got a
poor
fish.
people are on the brink of being like, "Do I spend $1,000 for a scalped PS5?" And I say no, because
Yeah, don't do that.
because Sony said that
Sony said that I would get one.
no, they did basically by the end of the year. They were like,
Yeah.
we should be able to source the semiconductors or whatever part they were having trouble sourcing, so we should be able to get PS5s out there. And I'm like, God bless, because you know what? All these games
That was a
coming out.
struggle.
Yeah, it was a struggle. I was subscribed or following so many Twitter accounts that I didn't need to be or want to be, just to get notifications when drops were happening. So that's all over with. God bless, and I can rest easy. I do need to buy a new TV though, because my TV is very old at home, and there's no point in having a PS5 if I can't enjoy the graphics of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That is like one thing that you have to factor in when you buy a PS5. And PS5s are like 600, $550, $600 without the bundle. I know you got the bundle, but then you have to kind of add that into it. Like, oh, okay. But it is worth it. Like, I feel like as a PS5 owner to this point, I haven't really had a lot of games to play. So now is like the perfect time for you to buy one.
Right.
Or now is the perfect time for you to find one. And also, if they're going to have more out there, I think people that are looking for PS5s around this time is the good time to buy, because I feel like the people that initially got them were the scalpers, and the people just happened to get lucky. Like I got lucky.
Oh yeah.
It was my birthday night, and I was like, on my birthday, stood up all night to reserve that thing, and I was on every website, and I just got one, so I didn't get like a million like these.
Mary's a good
did.
person.
I'm a good person, but anyway, like up until this point, there's been very few games that have come out that I'm like, I need to play. But now, like, games are starting to come out, like Kena, Bridge of Spirits. Like, I'm definitely buying that. And other games, like I was gonna get Deathloop and Life is Strange 3. Those are games that I'm buying to try to play. And I feel like the PS5 experience is just gonna be such a great experience, because that console is impressive. Like the haptic feedback on the controller, the way that it looks, the way that it loads, the load times.
Oh yeah.
It's like night and day. It's like I go back, because I have, my game room. I have like from the PS1 until PS5. I have like NES to like Switch, like all those things. And going back to like the PS3, PS4, PS2, I'm like, oh, these load times though. You get spoiled with the PS5 load times for sure. And they're only going to get better with the updates. They were saying, there was a recent article talking about their load times and how they're actually going to cut them down.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was like, you're going to cut them down from that?
You're going to cut them down to what?
To like, to nothing.
Yeah. That's it.
So I'm super excited for you to have that. I do recommend Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, yes. That was the one thing I was so upset, because games, I think GameStop has a bundle that has Ratchet and Clank, and I was bummed because I didn't get it from GameStop. And the bundle that I got didn't have Ratchet and Clank, and I was like,
of course. They're like, this is the game. Then we're not going to include it.
I have to spend money.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's an investment, I feel like. Especially like people who play games regularly, and I think it's a good investment.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I have everything figured out. So here's my plan. I'm gonna come back from Jupiter. I am
make sure
going.
that you like once you get back to Earth, you can adapt to the oxygen here because I know in
Oh
Jupiter
yeah.
they don't have oxygen. So
Yeah. I don't know how I'm breathing right now, but
you're doing a good job.
um so yeah, here's my plan. I am going to come back. I'm going to have my PS5. I'm going to get a new TV. And then I'm going to call
A new identity.
and yes, exactly. No, I'm going to get my internet provider to come to my house and I'm going to get them to install fiber optics. And I'm going to get internet that is not ass. And then I'm going to subscribe to PS Now.
Yes. P.S. Yes.
Yes, yes. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life.
That's exciting because I'm really happy for you because your internet blows butt.
Oh, yeah.
No offense.
It's
It blows butt.
so, I mean, I've been too embarrassed to mention it before on the podcast, but literally my internet is 5 megabits.
Yeah.
It's
So
so.
I'm excited for you. I'm also excited for you to be able to get PS Now or PS Plus because PS Plus is
That's what I meant.
PS Plus is PS Plus is such a great deal because a lot of people they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to sign up for it. You get so many good games for free, like games that I was interested in buying. Like I was interested in buying this game that came out. I'm blanking on the name right now, but it just came out in the recent games that were out for the PS Plus membership. And I was debating. I was like, should I spend $40 on it? And I kept going back and forth
Right.
for like months. I was like, oh, I really want to play this game. Maybe I should get it. Maybe I shouldn't. And then it actually just came out for the PS Plus.
And you're
so
like,
I didn't have to decide because I get it for free. Yeah,
easy.
It's such a good investment.
Yeah, because the only reason that I haven't yet is because my Wi-Fi is so bad. I'm like, I can't download games in a reasonable amount of time. So like, sense. I'm like, why would I spend money on this subscription that like I'm not going to use?
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, because I think my apartment like, because since my old roommate moved. Like, I think just because the apartment's been passed down from like friend to friend to friend, like no one has ever had the Wi-Fi updated. So it's just always been like shitty because it's been the same like wiring for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
But all I have to do is call AT&T and tell them, hey, it's me. It's Chris. And they're like, oh,
Chris,
what can I do for you? And I'm like, I need you to come and update my wiring so I can get fiber optics up in this girl.
And they're like, we can do that. We can do that for you.
And I'm like,
when I see you have PS5, they're like, oh, he's got a PS5.
They're like whispering. They're like, he has the PS5.
He's part of the elite.
And I'm like,
oh
yes, I do have a PS5.
Yes. Why, thank you, sir, for noticing my PS5. And I do feel like it's kind of when people like come to visit or like house watch or something like that, they're like, oh, PS5 in the wild.
Oh, no, it's so true because even Rob and I were like gossiping about your PS5 while you were away.
talking things about it and just like sitting there pretty like, ooh.
We were because it was funny because like after I basically broke in and scared the shit out of him because while Mary was away on on Mars, I was watching her cat, but I was splitting the days with one of her friends and I was confused as to what day I was supposed to start, so I just went the morning of. And I like, and so I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go, like, I get up the stairs. I put my key in the lock and I just hear a voice from inside the apartment go, hello. And I was like, I jumped because I was not expecting it. And it was Mary's friend, Rob, who I scared the shit out of. And then he scared me. So then we had like a mutual, just like, I came in because I was like, well, I'm already here. So I was like, hi, like, nice to meet you. Like, I'm sorry that this is the start interaction that we have to our meeting, and then we gossiped about your PS5.
Because I love that because he was sitting there like peacefully just going like, I get to relax for the night.
Literally.
And then him not expecting someone to like put a key through the hole and him going like, ah, and then you also not expecting to hear a voice on the other side going like, ah. Like you have the 911 like pulled up. You're like,
right?
There's someone. Someone's in here.
Someone's in here.
And we're both calling 911.
Yeah.
Oh.
Two different police cars show up.
We're like, and then like both of you are like, neither of us live here. And they're both like, they write down, they're like,
it's like the Spider-Man meme. We're all just pointing.
you know, it's you.
But no, it was funny. And we gossiped about your PS5 because we were both just like, it's so big.
Yeah. No, there's a picture of me and maybe I could send it to you. There's a picture of me holding it when I first got it, like from the mail, and I unpackaged it. And it's as big as like my torso plus like my head and my shoulders.
You're like,
I was like, yeah, big. Because I took it out of the box. I did like a unboxing and I knew it was going to be big, but I was like, damn. I was like, is this going to fit my house? I guess it will. I'm going to have to make it, but
gonna have to. And it does.
It does.
It's like perfect. It's just like,
yeah, it's like it's like knock into it.
So there's like a dent in the shelf where you tried to get it under.
Yeah, I'm like it fits. It's like
it's like slightly sideways to fit.
I'm like it works. They're like, you really shouldn't be doing that to your PS. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, PS5, Shmies5.
It's my PS5. I get to decide how it
Not
looks.
yours.
Not yours.
Mine.
I'm excited for you though. Did you get the disc version or the digital
I got
version?
disc.
Yeah.
I like thought about it because I was like, I like as much as it's probably more economical to get the digital version. I was like, well, I don't know about my Wi-Fi situation. B, I like owning the discs and like I'm gonna spend $60 either way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's how I decided too, because I was like, yeah, I like to own the physical copies of things. First off, I like the artwork. I like the they don't really come with pamphlets or manuals anymore, which is another problem I see out now. But anyway, I like to own it. And I like the ability of like being able to put in PS4 games because I have so many PS4 games.
Exactly.
That's why I decided to do that. And like, yes, I will download games. I have a lot of games downloaded on PS5, but I just like to have that option. I feel like it's worth it. Like I feel like if you have the digital version, you're going to be thinking like, I wish I would have got the disc version.
Right.
Because I know they have a disc like extension, so you can buy that later.
Just buy the disc version.
Just buy the disc version because then that way, like, yeah, just spend the extra money there because
that's some borderline Apple shit right there.
It is some Apple shit. They're like,
which you know now because you have a MacBook now.
That's true. I am learning the MacBook. Like, you need to have like so many outlets. You need to buy like an adapter for the outlets and everything because they only give you a select amount. And
I'm looking at how many adapters I'm using right now just to record this episode, and I'm like,
it's like that's how they get your money. They don't get the money from just the MacBooks. They get the money from all the extensions that you have to get because your MacBook is like it's so unique that you need to buy these special cords for it. Anyway,
right? Which is it's so annoying. But anyway,
I love the MacBook though. I love Apple.
I was gonna say I'm shit talking Apple, but I'm ride or die for Apple, like, and I always have been. So it's fine. Yeah,
it's great. I like the UI, and I like how the MacBook like doesn't allow for any kind of like spam or like any kind of viruses or anything like that. They're like, super good about safety, which I think is good because I feel like I get all the e-worms and e-viruses when I go online, and this MacBook is like shuts it down. It's like, no. Great.
It's nice that you can actually run the Adobe suite.
Yes, because on my gaming laptop, which I thought my gaming laptop could handle it. Nope.
Right.
It just kept crashing. No.
So sad.
Yeah.
I also like, and this is not like, this is going to sound so stupid. I like that on a Mac, you can also edit, like you can rename files while they're open.
Yeah.
And you can move files while they're open.
Yeah.
It's really nice in certain situations. It's not an important feature, but I'm just like, I miss it when I don't have it. Like if I'm using a PC and I'm like, I'm going to rename the file real quick. I'm like, I have to fucking close it. But I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's about that?
What's up with that?
Come on, PC.
Come on, Gates.
Yeah. He's like, I got money. I don't care anymore. He's like, I don't care anymore. I got money.
I mean,
I'm not putting
literally
any
me, if
effort
I
in.
had money, I'd be like, I don't fucking care.
Me for that raffle that's starting for the $500,000 for your vaccination. I'm like, they're basically telling us like, once you get this $500,000, just quit.
I mean,
I would.
I would.
I would. But anyway, that's exciting. So there are some really good games coming out. You know, that's why I said I'm glad you're getting the PS5 because there's just so many.
I got it at the right time, for
You
sure.
you did get it at the right time. Yeah, because all these games are coming out. And like you were also talking about a game that just recently came out, Road 96.
Yeah.
Yeah. That game. I forgot about
Okay,
the release of
same.
it.
I forgot about it. Because we only saw a preview of it.
Yeah.
Was that E3? I can't remember. It was one of the showcases.
Yeah, it was one of the showcases. It's hard to like remember what showcases are now.
They all
because
kind
there's
of
so
blend
many
together.
Different ones. Yeah,
Right.
but there's so many different ones. Like this one's coming out
Exactly.
this month. This one's coming out next month. It's
Yep.
like it's hard to get it in line because there's also the PlayStation exclusive that might be coming out this week.
Right. But yeah, because I forgot about it, but then it came out today. And I was like, whoa, I like kind of forgot. But I saw like an IGN review of it popped up on my Twitter newsfeed. And so I was like, oh yeah. And because also I didn't really know much about it. I feel like the previews that we saw of it were not very telling of the actual game itself, because I was reading the review of it. And it sounds like it's one of those narrative tree kind of games where it's like your actions and what you choose to do while you're on the road trying to get to the border affect like the outcome. Like you could die on the way, like you could get arrested at the border, you can successfully escape, like. And I wasn't expecting it to be like that, because based on the preview, it just seemed like it was going to be like a road trip, not like I'm trying to escape this like oppressive country and cross a border. So
yeah,
very, very topical, but I'm excited to play it because it sounds really good and it looks really good.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I like the style of it. I like the aesthetic, and I also like the storyline. I like those kind of games where you get to like manipulate the dialogue or manipulate the story, because I feel like I just love communication.
Just gonna put that out there.
I love people. Like I think I'm a people person. I feel like so I love the ability to connect with a game like that. Be able to make decisions and like have cause and effect.
Right.
I love that. And I feel like this game, it involves that, plus it just looks aesthetically beautiful. So also the music sounds really good, like the soundtrack. For the trailer and all the videos I watched, I was like, okay, this seems like kind of like an indie darling kind of game.
So I'll be interested to play it. I don't have my Switch, so I'll download it when I get home.
Yeah.
Or I'll buy it, because again, my Wi-Fi is still ass for the time being.
That's true. But you're gonna get better ones. You're gonna get it better.
Mark my words. I will be able to upload the podcast from my own home one day.
I will engrave that on your tombstone. That will be
my inscription.
Your last words to the world.
Oh my gosh. Which I am excited, because we do have more videos coming out. I finally finished editing our first field trip, which I feel like I mentioned like episodes back. I was like, yeah, this will be out soon. And it's been like a month.
Hey, it's a work in progress. And the field trips are super exciting because we get to explore our city.
Yes.
Show the world like where we're at on Earth.
Right.
And be able to go to all these cool places. So I'm really excited for you guys to listen and to watch that. You have to watch it. It's not a listen thing.
It's not a listening thing. It won't. It's only on YouTube.
Only on YouTube. So you actually get to look at our faces instead of just listening to us. It's a big step.
But it's really good. The first episode I think is funny. I tried my best to work with what we had. Because that first one was sort of like our test episode, but I was able to cut it together in a way where I was like, this is pretty good. Like I should upload this.
Yeah, it looks great. I think it really shows our personalities. So if you guys enjoy listening to us, watching us, listening to us talk about random things, then I think you would enjoy it.
Yes. And if you want to see our favorite places in SF, you should watch it. because we're gonna try to do it as more like of a showcase kind of like places that we like to visit in the city, and possibly in the surrounding areas. I have some notes about how I can like how I want to have maybe like more, because I was like we didn't have that much footage, so like I was cutting it together and I was kind of like I was like, can I make montages? Do I have enough footage? So and I made it work, but I definitely think yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a fun series. I had a lot of fun editing it and filming it, so yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that. More of that.
And then we got a capture, or
Um,
we're getting a capture. Do you already have the capture card?
no, not yet, but we are
Okay.
getting a capture card.
Right. So because we are also hoping to do more like gameplay videos, and we don't want it to be limited to just like PC games. So we are gonna have a capture card so we can record console games as well, and do some funny gameplay narration type stuff.
Yeah, I'm super. Yeah, because we also don't want to limit it just to PC games because, like I was telling earlier to everybody, like, I have like NES, Super Nintendo, like every console like you can think of, and all these games like backlog. You talk about backlog. I don't not only have backlog in digital games, but in physical games.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be nice to actually get through them and like play and just comment on them. I think it'd be
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
But that's
Anyway,
pretty much it.
yeah. So thank you for listening to our ramble about things that we've been getting into lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can listen to us on Spotify, of course, and watch us and listen to us on YouTube, which I will recommend that.
I also recommend that. I think it's great to listen if you're like on the go, but like sit down, like have some coffee, like watch us. Mary and I do put some effort into our setup. So we're also both pretty animate people, so I feel like it's worth watching if you can.
Yeah, because I talk a lot with my hands, so there's a lot of
Same.
things that you're missing out on. Like right now,
Like this.
I'm boxing my face in and
See, and that
so if
doesn't make
that
any sense
intrigues
if you're
you,
just listening.
exactly. So if that intrigues you, I recommend a little subscribe,
A little
a
boop.
little like, a little comment on our YouTube.
And I promise the audio quality will get better. I am still learning how to edit audio. So thank you to our friends and fans who have sent their requests for how I can edit the audio to sound better. I hear you. I don't see you, but I hear you.
No.
Um, and I am learning. So thank you for bearing with me while I do this.
Yeah. So there are more things in store, and I hope that the next episode we meet in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will we? I'm coming back on Saturday. Can we do Sunday?
Yes. We could do Sunday.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.